What's up, everyone? It's Jay Ray, the co-host of Q Points, and one really important way that you can support our show is by subscribing to it wherever you listen to podcasts. Q Points is pretty much everywhere. One of those places where you can subscribe, and we highly encourage it, is on Apple Podcasts. If you visit qpnt.net/Apple Podcasts. You could subscribe to the show and listen to all of the episodes. And please, please, please leave us 5 stars because you know you love Q Points, and leave us a review. We really want to hear from you, and it helps to spread the word about the show. It's that simple. Thanks so much for tuning into Q Points, and thank you so much for supporting us. Have a great one.
1 2 1 2. Here we are.
I'm just doing your famous.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought you were telling. I thought you were giving me directions.
5, 4, 3.
Now we're counting down. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Q Points. This is a soft opening of a brand new show. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
What's happening? I am J Ray, also known as Johnny Ray Cornegay III.
Amen. And this is Q Points, as I said before. This is I guess you and I, we were talking. It's been a hard year. The past year was ridiculous. It's been a super hard year for everybody. And I think the one thing that has kept us sane and kept us afloat is music.
Absolutely.
And being a DJ, a vinyl collector, and now co-host of this show, I know we have a connection around music. Mm-hmm. And so we were just talking about how much music has meant to us in this time, and wanting to have conversation around music that's not necessarily like a hot take mm-hmm. show, or what's your top 5 dead or alive. That's been done. Yes. I think I'd like to come from it from a place of appreciation. Yes. For all the music that we've enjoyed over the years, and different things that have come up from a historical standpoint. What did you?
No, I'm excited that we are embarking on this journey. One of the things, it was last year, kind of mid last year, when I decided to start researching various moments in Black music history and kind of doing the Black music mixtape thing.
Yeah.
And one, because I needed something that filled me up. Mm-hmm. So we've talked a lot about joy, right, as it relates to this show that we're doing. I needed something that filled me up, and also I needed something to occupy this void of I felt like there was something I needed to do that was a little bit more music related than what I was doing. And I'm excited that we're here doing this. And for those of you that are watching, and for those of you that are listening to the podcast, thank you so much for taking this journey at whatever point you decide to come into the journey.
Absolutely. I know a lot of, this is a soft opening, like I said. And so we will work on the platforms, because not everybody likes Facebook, but we got you. We got you. And echoing back to what you were saying about doing stuff that gave you joy, it was like whenever I went out, the stuff that brought me happiness was going to the record store. Mm-hmm. As you can see, and collecting, just collecting records that I didn't care about a financial value. Oh, this is a $50 record to add to my collection. No, nothing like that. It was about music that meant something to me and made me happy.
Yes. No, I'm right there with you. Yeah. It's interesting. I joined a record club, and it was the first time that I have colored vinyl in my collection only because but I lucked up on it. It wasn't something I was trying to have.
Right.
But I got one in the thing, and I realized that, the music for me, right where you are, is about what I get from it, not about what it is. I'm going to actually play this record. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to sit on the shelf and be like, ooh, it's here. I'm going to play the record, and hopefully I can share that record or that joy from that record with other people.
And speaking of playing, I had the pleasure of having my first in-person gig 2 Fridays ago at this spot here in Atlanta called Best End Brewing Company. Shout out to DJ Johnny Normal and the crew over there, and the Thank God It's Vinyl crew, because I got to be outside. I got to be with people, and it was so full of energy. Like, people are starving to get back out there. And I don't know if you've been watching the news, but apparently if you've been vaccinated, oh, it's about to be on. They said, like, CDC just released the a statement stating that if you've been vaccinated, you can be outdoors without a mask. You can be in some places without masks if you're fully vaccinated. Mm-hmm. So, as the kids say, we out here.
We out here. Listen, I'm fully vaccinated. I'm traveling for the first time for music. Traveling for the first time. Literally, y'all, I am getting on a plane. I'm packing up stuff and I'm getting on a plane. And I'm literally was only going to do it because I'm going to dance. I would have came home. I'm staying the whole week because my birthday's coming up. Mm-hmm. But I literally am only getting on the plane because Louis Vega's playing. I want to dance to Louis Vega.
Like, if you're an audiophile, you have Louis Vega has touched a record that you own.
Somewhere.
He's touched a remix. Matter of fact, I played a Vanessa Williams, I've Got Work to Do remix at the gig, mm-hmm. and that's a Louis Vega remix. Boom. Louis Vega is all over the place, but I'm glad you mentioned your birthday. Happy almost birthday. Let's get started. Like, there's some big birthdays that have come up already because it's Taurus season. So shout out to all you Tauruses out there. One of my favorite DJs and mentors here in Atlanta, DJ Applejack, just had a birthday. Today is a national holiday because it's Stevie Wonder's birthday.
It's Stevie Wonder. Listen, Stevie
71.
Wonder, which is nuts that Stevie Wonder is only 71. Like, it feels like Stevie Wonder has been on the earth forever.
Yes.
And I'm so glad and I'm so glad we're doing this show because we have to honor our folks while they're here. And Stevie Wonder, give all the flowers that we can find.
All of them.
To Stevie today on his birthday.
Favorite song, Stevie Wonder song?
Another Star. Oh God, there's so many. Oh my God, there's so many. Okay. Oh my God, Superwoman. I'm gonna pick those two for now, but Another Star and Superwoman.
Another Star is definitely on my top list. Do I Do?
I love Do I Do. That's a great
tune. And Overjoyed.
Oh, that's such a great tune.
And low key, I love what he did with Jermaine Jackson. It was right if you hadn't said that.
I know. Of course, I know what it is. But it's escaping me. Who knows? Who's watching and who knows?
But listen, he pulled out of Jermaine Jackson the best Stevie Wonder impersonation ever.
Love Stevie. We got a lot of stuff that we wanted to cover on this with y'all tonight. And one of the interesting things that has happened today, and this is really high level, but the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees have been announced.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. Can you believe that some people are just now getting their flowers? And it's wild. Like, let's just go through the list real quick. So in the performer category, finally at the top of the list, Tina Turner is getting her propers.
Finally. As a solo act. She's already inducted as part of Ike and Tina Turner, but she absolutely needs to be in there as a solo act.
Come on, give it up for the acid queen, Tina Turner. Yes, indeed. Carole King.
Why is Carole King just getting into the rock and roll? Tapestry was for a long time one of the biggest selling records of all time. Like, you play Tapestry even today, those are some of the most gorgeous songs you've ever heard. And Carole King has just written these amazing tunes. So it's just, I was surprised. I thought she was in.
Like, she's penned everything. She's been covered a million times. It's crazy. Now, here's a controversial one. Mm-hmm. Jay-Z. Some people are a little, they got their panties in a bunch a little bit over Jay-Z being inducted.
Jay totally deserves to be inducted. Like, Jay, in terms of impact, mm-hmm. In terms of impact, I mean, I just don't see how he couldn't be. He needs to. Yeah, this makes perfect sense. And I'm guessing this is probably his first availability to be inducted. I would imagine.
Maybe.
Or he might be a little over, but whatever. No, 96. So yeah, this is probably first time out. Jay-Z deserves it. So sure, Jay.
Staying in the hip hop lane, LL Cool J, the GOAT. The GOAT. Finally getting inducted.
Yep, and under musical excellence, which I love. So one of the things I noticed until I looked this up, but the musical excellence award are these folks that have been like pivotal, that have like really helped to shape music. Yes. And LL absolutely deserves to be in there from a MC standpoint. He's one of those like forks in the road from that standpoint. So perfect choice.
And now as a cultural cachet with Rock the Bells Radio, where he's employing some of our hip hop icons to be on the air. All of the iconic music from the past is being played continuously. So it's being loved on by our generation that grew up on it, and now it's being rediscovered by the youngins coming up, the Gen Zs that are out there, them have to be riding in the car with their mom and dad, and they're like, oh, I gotta sit through Rock the Bells Radio. But yes, you will, and you'll love it.
You do. It's great.
You'll love it. Hey, can't forget Early Influence Awards, Gil Scott-Heron.
Absolutely deserved. I'm surprised this hasn't happened already. I'm glad it's happening now. Kraftwerk. I mean, okay.
Foundation records for hip hop.
Literally foundation records. Literally. When you start thinking of the inspiration for techno and electro, all of that was happening in Detroit at the time, Kraftwerk was so inspirational to those groups that created this music. So absolutely perfect. And one of my favorites, Billy Preston, is in the fifth Beatle. He's just getting in, y'all.
Something for nothing. Come on, something for nothing.
Listen, that afro was a thing. One, just the fact, black gay man, one, and two, he was the fifth Beatle, and he is now being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And he crossed over a lot of genres. He did gospel, rock, you name it. He did it. And we can't forget the Ahmet Ertegun Award recipient is going to the Black Godfather himself, Clarence Avant.
Totally deserved.
If you don't know who Clarence Avant is, please look up the movie on Netflix, The Black Godfather. It is a totally amazing, I think, a dope Netflix show for you to check out, a documentary so that you can get, inducted and brought up on who Clarence Avant is, because a lot of people's careers, he's responsible for putting them on.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Nikki, darling. We see you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. That's my cousin. Thank you.
What up, cuzzo? Oh, birthdays. I almost forgot. The Queen. You see this red over here over me?
Yes. Oh,
Saturday is the Queen's birthday. Janet Jackson.
You are absolutely right. Oh my God.
How could I even forget?
We can't forget that.
Listen, Janet Jackson is responsible for a lot of the women that we see performing now. The big girls that are running things. Janet Jackson is their inspiration.
At point blank period. And Janet musically, and we don't talk about this a lot, and this is not, we got so much to cover, but I want to say this really quickly. Janet Jackson musically is just some of the best melodies and vocal harmonies. Go back and play them Janet Jackson records. Go back and play them Janet Jackson records and listen to Janet harmonize over Janet.
Which, when you think about it, back then when they were running everything on tape and not running it through the laptop, they were running everything on tape. So if you messed up, you had to start it all over again. She did that, harmonizing to herself.
Boom.
So everybody that has something to say about Janet Jackson singing abilities, come on, you might want to rethink
You got
that.
questions. You got questions. And I think it was Jimmy Jam who went on record and was like, two of my favorite background singers of all time, Ralph Tresvant and Janet Jackson.
Wow.
Because when you think about Ralph Tresvant, the same thing. Like Ralph will ride his own melody.
Absolutely. So, and I said that to say, you know, again, Janet has paved the way for a lot of women in this industry. You name it, whether it's a solo artist or groups. And that leads us to our major topic today. It was all over the news over the weekend. People are still talking about it now. We're going to talk about the Verzuz battle, SWV versus X-Scape. I'm not going to call it a battle. Like everybody else, I call it a celebration.
Yep.
It looked beautiful aesthetically. The one thing that I was wondering about was the sound. There were some issues with the sound going in and out because we were getting a lot of what was being played in the theater and not being piped in. And I don't want to get too technical, but it makes a big difference because if you heard what you heard, the crispness and the quality of when the DJs were playing, and we're gonna get to them in a second, what the DJs were playing versus when the ladies were singing. You could tell there was a difference. But other than that, I enjoyed it. Now, really quickly, what's been your favorite Verzuz performances so far?
Oh, that's a good question. Favorite Verzuz. Actually, I really liked the Gladys and Patty. It made me feel really good. In fact, I might do this now. I don't know if you want me to do this now, but this Verzuz felt really good to me.
It did.
So I was weird, and this is my soapbox. This is where I was weird about reading the social media after. Well, one, I don't typically participate in the watching of stuff. I think you know this about me. I'm not good with like fanny stuff that's like happening in the moment.
Okay.
Because one, I can't pay attention to what you type in and then watch the thing. And I want to watch it when I want to watch it. So I watched it after.
Gotcha.
I think there's two notes I want to make. I think that people project what they feel about Taj and Lili's contribution to SWV onto Coco, but Coco wasn't giving that. I'm like, y'all was seeing a thing that, like she talked about, hey, I was off a little bit because some stuff happened personally. But as I was watching back the show, I didn't feel like I wasn't seeing that. And what I was watching was different groups with different styles and different personalities do a thing. The other thing that I loved about watching it was the camaraderie of Escape. One, Escape came to play. Like they came to play. I loved watching that. They did. And I loved watching Taj be Taj. And what I loved is you got a chance to see what I think if people wanted to see it, they got a chance to see what makes SWV work on that stage.
Absolutely. Everything you said is correct. Shout out to, again, me and cousin Nikki, we right here. As far as my favorite Verzuz so far, the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire it didn't even feel like 4 hours. And the fact that we sat through 4 hours of it was amazing. So there was a reason why we sat through that. I also enjoyed the Patty and Gladys, especially when Dion came out. That was
so classic.
Chef's kiss. Definitely dope. But I think those are my favorites. I agree with what you were saying. We like to project a lot of what we're feeling. I do like watching these events with Twitter as a family, as we like to call it, Black Twitter, because it's kind of fun. And a lot of people, everybody becomes an A&R and a producer when they're watching the show. But it was a really great show. One of the things that I really appreciated were the DJs. A lot of people had hot takes about A1, but as somebody that understands, DJing is not just playing records, but sharing energy. I get why A1 was hype, and it helped. To me, it really did help, and I really appreciated him. Now, I want to give a shout out to my brother, Daryl Trainum, and I want you all to give him a shout out. Give us a shout out, because he and I single-handedly manifested Spinderella being on that stage with SWV. I'm taking the credit right now. We said it in his living room. We were talking about who's going to be the DJ for the Verzuz, and we both looked at each other and said SWV, and we thought it was, and we both said Spinderella for SWV, and we both started laughing because of the, there's a little shadiness in there, because Salt and Pepper, of course, infamously. Right. Had a falling out with Spinderella, but they were also on a reality show with SWV. Right. So we were just like, ooh, that'd be so juicy. And listen, I'm a Salt and Pepper stan from 1985. Trust, I love Salt and Pepper. But it was good seeing Spinderella get her props, and people loving her set, and just loving the fact that she was there and getting some shine. Yep. Because correct me if I'm wrong, I think she may have so far be the only woman DJ to spin a Verzuz.
I believe, and in all fairness, I haven't seen all of them on purpose, but I think you're right. I have not. Yeah. Wow! Shout out to Spinderella, and shout out to both SWV and X-Scape. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I will say my interesting thing about Verzuz is, baby, I'm a get in and get out kind of guy. Like, I'm a give me your top 5 SWV, give me your top 5 X-Scape, perform the hell out of it and send me home. You know what I'm saying? But baby, when that hour and a half hit, I'd be like, man, oh man, I am exhausted now. And
well, you know what it is, right? We're the uncles. We're like, look, hey y'all, let's get it popping.
Let's get this going.
But so I was seeing a lot of comments. A lot of people had a lot of energy around people doing solo cuts, people performing songs that they'd written for other people. I have absolutely no issue with that whatsoever.
Zero. Like Candy dropping, you think I'm not, was like perfect. 1, it's Atlanta as hell.
Atlanta as hell.
Like, I was like, no, that should happen. I think, folks, the other thing, these rigid rules or these rigid parameters, I think that people put around these things. 1, I think it makes it less fun. But also, stan culture is weird, y'all. Like, that is weird. Where, in fairness, I had a idea of the way I thought that this Verzuz would go, and it didn't go the way that I thought.
Okay.
But watching the way folks were interacting with each other after it happened, it was just, even before it happened, was just like, they're both really good.
And I think if you're in a certain age group, I would imagine, yes, regionally, we've got a group straight out of New York, and we got a group straight out of Atlanta. So yes, there's going to be some regional competition, which I grew up in New York, been living in Atlanta for years. So I claim both of them. Right. I claim both of them. I love them equally. Can we also talk about the feeling you get when you hear a remix from X-Scape or SWV? Let me share this story real quick. So we're going to talk about remixes, right?
Boom.
Let's talk about this. I'm going to age myself, and I don't care. SWV's debut album, It's About Time, came out in 1991. 92. Okay.
Yep.
So 92. So I was a junior in high school. I was in 11th grade. So we had right here the original version come out.
The original version was the first single, y'all.
First single. Then we had I'm So Into You. Then we had Downtown. Fast forward to my senior year, my prom.
What? This is a whole year.
This is 1993. This is May 1993. Shout out to all the graduates for this year. This is May 1993. We're at the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, and what is our prom song? Our slow song of the night?
Of course.
Weak by SWV, which is their ultimate showstopper.
Yep.
Now, I'm not done. Fast forward to 1995, where at this point, I've dropped out of Georgia State University. I'm working at AT&T. I've tried to start some type of rap career. There's a whole lot of foolishness, but guess what was playing on the radio and on the videos? The all-star remix of Anything, SWV featuring the Wu-Tang Clan. We're talking 92 to 95, one album. And all of that is thanks to really great remixes.
Yep. And Lily talked about that in the verses as well, talking about the reason behind, the producers really wanting to do, versions that would hit different markets and really trying to think about and getting other people involved. You get Teddy Riley involved and Pharrell, before we knew who Pharrell was, you know what I'm saying, in the mix. So really thinking through the beauty of that album, you have Right Here as the first single. And then they re-release it, remix, and it becomes the biggest single at that moment that they had released.
From the Big Willie soundtrack.
And then so we have soundtracks. So we got soundtrack because even so it was funny. So there's a note in there where Candy was like, the Above the Rim soundtrack, but actually that song was on another soundtrack.
Sunset Park. They were both basketball movies. That's
exactly.
Why she was. Yeah.
And so thinking about I miss records. I miss records that have like a life, that kind of grow.
I miss remixes.
I miss remixes a lot, like a lot.
Well, pause. Let's not forget, not for nothing, let's not leave X-Scape out of the conversation of remixes, because Jermaine Dupri, I'm going to give him his props. Now, later for what he was saying about the women MCs of today, that was kind of a hot take on his part. But when we want to talk about giving out props for remixes and allowing records to breathe and just giving a hip hop sensibility to a Mariah Carey, who would have ever thought to put Da Brat and a Mariah Carey on a record together but Jermaine Dupri?
Baby, like Mariah, first of all, Mariah and Jermaine, and I posted this once. I think I put up Sweetheart, and I was like, Mariah Carey and Jermaine Dupri were just a match made in heaven.
For sure.
But what I loved about it, and I think this was the thing, and what came across, one with the SWV songs and the remixes, and the X-Scape songs and the remixes, and all the Mariah stuff, is folks were enjoying each other.
Yes.
And trusting that. Remember the Mariah at the top of I think it was the Honey remix. If Jermaine likes it, then the Brad is a he do. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
there you go. And it's a history, and this is new to y'all, but J. Ray and I have talked about this. There's an intertwining of when we're talking about Jermaine Dupri and music that was coming out of Atlanta in the early to mid 90s. There's an intertwine between Jermaine Dupri and say Diddy. No, definitely Diddy. Definitely. Because they produced for each other's artists. They submitted remixes for each other's artists. They had features from each other's artists on each other's labels. It was just this cross connection going on between So Def and Bad Boy. So they truly were running things in the 90s. And I think that's why you can have an appreciation in every region for both of these groups. Yes. So I think that was the loveliness that came out of this versus. And it just came to my mind. Another verses that I thoroughly enjoyed was the DMX and Snoop Dogg. So rest in peace to DMX. That was a fun one. That was a lot of fun. Definitely.
I gotta go back and watch. That was one of the ones I haven't seen, but I will go back and check that one out.
And so And I got to give it to Jermaine Dupri for his openness to working with women artists. Especially because let's talk about it. Who was Jermaine Dupri's very first group?
So was it Silk Times Leather?
Boom, there you go.
Come on, you know what I'm saying? I want to pull out some Silk Times Leather up in here. I got it over here in the thing.
I got it too, and you know that's, and you know me. That's why, and so that's what another thing about this Verzuz. I think this might have been no, we had Brandy and Monica. We had huge. That was huge too. SWV and X-Scape. I just like seeing these women get their props, because a lot of times when we're having these conversations around music, a lot of times the women get left out, or they create these lists specifically for women, and then it's a very small and curated list, like there's not other people that exist in the genre. You know, if you always talk about, when people start talking about their top 5 dead or alive MCs,
right? It's
always the same, and nobody ever throws in. Sometimes, they might say, "Okay, well, what about the women?"
Right, and it'll literally be like an afterthought.
And it's stuff like that is the reason why I'm going to be bringing back my live mix show. It's rebranded. It's called Wild Girl Wednesdays.
Wild Girl Wednesdays,
where I play nothing but the dolls. I'm talking about any and every woman you could think of, every genre. It'll be spanning throughout different generations. So just keep your eyes open for that. That's going to be coming soon to the Restream audience as well. So I'm excited about that. It's just been a really great week.
Yes.
Music wise.
It has. And we're going to talk about some stuff that we're loving, but well, I think the beautiful thing about music is that, one, it's always there for us. You know, with whatever we are going through, in particular when we're going through something difficult, right? We can always put on a song. And I'm actually curious, for those folks that are listening or watching, what were some of your favorite songs that got played during the Verzuz between SWV and X-Scape? I'm really curious to know what songs y'all dig. But really good music week. Absolutely.
And I think there was something that you wanted to share.
So
I'm gonna tell. Wait, let me do this. Let me tell y'all something about this guy. This guy right here. So, if you want to talk about being an audiophile, somebody that stores information, sometimes I will just look at him and be like, "Why do you know that? Why? Why do you know that?" Okay, so go ahead.
So
school us.
I love random facts. And so when we were sitting down for this show, I'm going to make this really quick. In fact, hold on. I gotta pull up my thing because there's something I need to read.
Okay.
But we're going to stay in the SWV bag for a moment.
All right.
So 1993, SWV, so couple of things happened. So on July 10th, 1993, Week hit number 1. So now this is their first official number 1. So I'm So Into You was in the top 10. Week hits number 1 and it stays at number 1 for 2 weeks. So this is July 10th, Week 1993. Week hits number 1. Around that same time, July 10th, SWV drops the Right Here remix, the Human Nature remix, right? Same day. So Week hits number 1, new singles dropping, right? We dropped in like April. So, stuff traveled, it took a minute. That week, so on July 14th, SWV, so they happened to be on the Summerfest tour. And that week, so on July 14th, this is 4 days after their number 1, so Week hits number 1, they are in Washington, D.C. Right Here hasn't blown up yet. It's going to become their biggest single and one of the biggest singles of the year, but it hasn't happened yet. So July 14th, SWV is in Washington, D.C. performing at Summerfest, and I want to read what this just a funny quote. So I want to read this. This is from the Washington Post. SWV, aka Sisters with Voices, was especially impressive, working for the first time with a band instead of with recorded rhythm tracks, and alternately sounding girlishly innocent on the #1 hit Week and on I'm So Into You, sexually aggressive on the highly suggestive Downtown, and gospel bread on just about everything else. Right. Hold on, here's the last sentence. With the help of 3 dancers who specialized in a fragrantly exotic brand of aerobics, the trio managed to keep the crowd dancing and singing for the duration of the set. So this is the way people would write about black folks at that time, right?
I wonder why.
Right. So this is the time and place that we're in, and I wanted to set this. Because here's what's interesting. This is not the interesting part. Here's what's interesting about this night. So on this Summerfest tour show, this show specifically is Jade H-Town. Wow. Right. Wow. Jade H-Town, Silk, Shy, and SWV.
Wow.
So this ain't it yet. Here it is. Summerfest actually had 2 headlining acts that did not perform on this show. Those 2 headlining acts were LL Cool J, who is an icon by 1993. This is after Mama Said Knock You Out. He is 8 years into his celebrity. He is a bona fide superstar. Movie star. LL Cool J is a star. So LL Cool J is a headliner. Naughty by Nature is the other group. So here's what happened.
Go ahead. Finish.
Where this show was being performed in Washington, D.C. at the convention center, rap was banned.
Wow.
Your 2 biggest stars at that moment. So Naughty by Nature is like, Hip Hop Hooray is like, I'm sure, out by then.
Absolutely.
So they are literally like cashing checks left and right.
Yeah.
Because 1993 was the second album, and the first record had already blown up, and then they got the second record, which went crazy.
Hip Hop Hooray was out of there.
Out of here. And you got LL Cool J on the same ticket. Neither one of them could perform, y'all. Because at that moment in hip hop, I forgot about this time in hip hop. Because hip hop is now the culture.
Yep. And we had C. Dolores Tucker and... What was the Reverend that was running over CDs and albums in the street?
Exactly. You got Tipper Gore out there. Like, we got to put stuff.
Stickers on the albums. Yes.
Yep. That was Tipper Gore, Al Gore's wife. Tipper Gore was who led that effort. So what was so interesting is you have one SWV who are just blowing up. They are at the beginning. January, I'm So Into You comes out, and that's their big hit. Then Week comes and it becomes their bigger hit, and they're about to have their biggest one. So SWV is at the beginning of their stardom, and then you have LL Cool J, who's a veteran by then, and Naughty by Nature. So all these people, Jade and all these folks, right, on this tour, but the rappers can't play because rap
is banned
in
DC, of all places,
in Washington, DC,
the blackest city in the nation.
You know what else was banned? Now that you said that, Go-Go was also banned. Washington, DC's own Go-Go was banned at the convention center. You couldn't play rap music there, and you couldn't play Go-Go there. So you want to talk about how racism shows up? And how it manifests, and people will say it was because of the elements and it was because of this. I hear all of that, but what I also hear is y'all don't want black folk up doing that in here.
Listen, and wow. Thank you for that, first of all, because I think people needed to know that and to realize how life is secular and how things are just repeating themselves, because Go-Go again was being endangered by the element in DC that was attacking DC culture, was attacking Go-Go music, and that all stems from white supremacy. So let's just put that out there. So thank you for that. I still don't know why you know that, but thank you for knowing that. We needed to hear that. We all needed to hear that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, just thinking back about, you know what, and moments like that, if we had social media back then, I can only imagine the tweets. Black Twitter would have been on fire.
Lost it, because people would have showed up at that show. Oh, not shown up, because it was reported ahead of time. So you can y'all can pull these pieces from the Washington Post archive, because there were two pieces, one leading up to it saying LL ain't gonna be there. And the promoter was like, even if they did allow rap, I wasn't going to let the Naughty by the Nature and LL perform. And even though I like LL, he can't perform. No, because the element that would come, I don't want it my stuff.
Black Twitter would have canceled, found out who their promoter was, and canceled him and just put him completely on blast online. But this week was no different on Black Twitter at all. Social media, period. Social media has been, it does a lot for music. It's a double-edged sword. And so, yeah, this week in social media, like, J-Ray, why are we like this? Why are we like this? Okay, so this is, I don't even know how this got, yes, this is a music podcast, visual podcast, but you guys made this part of our podcast. So if you've been living under a rock, you've heard the news, the breaking news that Portia Williams, granddaughter or great-granddaughter? Granddaughter of Hosea Williams, civil rights icon, and star of Real Housewives, just completely shattered Twitter, broke the internet when it was announced that she is now involved with a once married man to her friend. A man who's married a friend, because she's saying we were never friends.
We were friends. It's a show thing, all of that. So yeah.
So in record time, you guys, look at what you did. Show them, J-Ray. Look at what you did. Look what you guys put together. Look, chat her up. Posted this. There is a Portia's current playlist running around, and I'm pretty certain it's on all the platforms right now. But it's got all the side chick anthems on there from SWV and X-Scape, because they gave us a lot of side chick anthems, including I'm So Into You and My Little Secret.
Yes.
Then there's the classic As We Lay,
Shirley Murdoch from Dayton, Ohio.
You know what I'm saying? And Let Me Come to You, Woman to Woman.
Yes, woman to woman. Come on.
I mean, listen, Shirley Brown, all of that stuff. You guys, why are we like this?
Listen, here's what I love. Here's what I love about us. And I'm talking about Black culture, Black people.
Period.
Specifically us.
Yes.
What I love is we knew this about ourselves before there was Black Twitter, but Black Twitter just is like, this is why we are able to get through. Because baby, we is on it, baby. We got a playlist for you for Portia.
But it's a slapping playlist too, though. It's got some bops on there.
I want to hear it.
Listen, I could probably, I've listened to a lot of those songs anyway. And so, yeah, you guys never change. That's all I'm going to say. Please don't ever change. And make sure you come and join us each and every week for Q Points, because we're going to have fun conversations just like this. But before we go, J-Ray, I need you to put me on, man. I need you to.
I got you. So, y'all, this week, so I joined a record club. Shout out to Rainbow Records in Newark, Delaware. There's a Newark, Delaware, and a Newark, New Jersey. They are two very different places. Let's be very clear about that.
Okay.
So, down in Newark, Delaware, Rainbow Records, I'm part of this record club. So I got 3 records in the mail. And it's really 2, but they gave me a bonus, which was fun. And one of the records that was in there was from, well, I didn't know any of the groups. One of them was from this group called Chawa, and the name of the album was My People. I was living for the cover, so the cover is right. I'm gonna bring it over. Hold on.
Oh, no problem. Hey, what's up, Kipper? Listen, I know you love it too. Shout out to Kipper Jones. We need to get Kipper on here because
Kipper needs to be on here.
Kipper is a walking encyclopedia and history book himself of music.
Listen,
he's giving y'all some of your favorite bops.
Literally, he's giving you some of your favorite bops.
By your favorites fave.
Right.
Let's be clear about that.
So this Chawa hey, Kipper's in rehearsal, but he went to chime in. I love it.
Thank you, Kipper.
So My People, this record, here's what I love. One, it's a New Orleans second line.
Okay.
The first record of New Orleans second line music that I have officially owned. Like, I've had songs on other stuff, but this is like the first record that I've owned, and it's so good. Like, y'all, it feels in this time, and when it's a colored vinyl, which I thought was fun, but it's like a Mardi Gras situation. It's weird.
Yeah,
like you can't even see it. Like, it's hard to see. But it's an amazing record. I highly recommend this. It feels really good. It is Black culture. It
Super
is
Black.
New Orleans, and highly recommend this. So DJ Sir Daniel, get Chawa's My People. And so DJ Sir Daniel, since I put you on, you got to put me on. What you got?
Okay. So, and mind you, what we're going to do is you're going to be able to see everything that we talk about as far as what we put you onto, what we put each other onto. We're going to post a video or a link to the music so that you can have access to it. So, you know, I like old stuff. I like classics, right? And I don't even know how I even got on this kick for this particular record. I think I was at a record store in Clarkston, and I found the album of this particular artist, and I was like, you know what? I remember this was a slap. This was a bop. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to get this. I got it home. I liked the album version, but I knew that there was an extended version that I want to play during a set. So I went on Discogs and I found the single, the 12-inch, and I found out that the person, the distributor that had it, was a local, had a local store here. So I said, "Oh, bump that shipping and handling. I'm going down to the store and picking this up today because I have to have this." And I'm really, as you can see, I'm really bad. Like, if I see some vinyl that I have to, I'm going to get it right then and there. Anyway, so I got dressed. I'm like, "Yep, I'm about to get me. This is going. This next set is going to slap. It's going to give everybody the feels. It's going to have people twirling." That's what I said. Twirling. You are going to twirl when you hear this record, right? So I get down there, mask on and everything. I go to the door, and before I can even open the door, there's a big sign on there. They are not open to public shopping. You have to call and order ahead or go online and make your order there. I said, you know what? Dude, you ain't said nothing about a word. I'm calling the number as I'm walking back to the car.
Because he need this record, y'all.
Because I need this record. I gotta have it. So I'm calling in, and the guy answers the phone, and we go through the credit card information. It's really, and this piece of vinyl is super cheap, but it means a lot,
right,
to me, right? So I'm like, I would have paid such and such for it, but I'm going to pay these these couple dollars here for this record. So he's about to wait. Hey, what'd you say? Talking to somebody in the background. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. It looks like there's been a mistake and we don't have it. And I'm sitting there in the car. I wanted to say, do you guys know that I'm right outside your door right now? I need this record, but I'm just like, you know what? It's okay. I'm just going to find it someplace else. Do you know the record I have found it. and it is at another place here in the surrounding metro area.
Okay.
It's almost an hour away from where I live, but I'm going to drive out there to pick. And road trip is several records, and I'm getting this record that they have. Anyway, you guys, you're probably gonna think I'm crazy when I tell you who this artist is. You may not even know when I tell you who the artist is or when I say it. The artist's name is Tremaine. And the name of the song is Fall Down. Now, some of y'all are looking like, who's Tremaine?
Right.
At the time when this record was popping in 86, it was really popping in the clubs. Tremaine is Tremaine Hawkins from the gospel dynasty, the Hawkins dynasty. I'm talking like her brother is Edwin Hawkins, Oh Happy Day Hawkins.
Wow.
That Hawkins.
Wow.
If you have the opportunity, and I'm going to put a link up to this song so you can hear it, and you will hear it on Wild Girl Wednesdays at some point. This song literally is joyful. The message, if you're not a churchy person, I get it. I'm not a churchy person either. This song don't preach. It's definitely in the lyrics, but it's not preachy.
Yeah.
It's definitely a disco club beat, and it's amazing. These producers that created these records back then, they had their feet in both worlds.
Absolutely. Okay.
The secular world, and they had their feet in the clubs. The Clark sister, the Clark sisters' biggest hit is what? You Brought the Sunshine, and you could put that. It was in the clubs. They was in the clubs
now,
and it will go off.
Yep.
So I don't even know how I got on that rant, but Tremaine, and if you're looking for it, do not put in Tremaine Hawkins. It's just Tremaine. I don't know and that might be something for me to look into. I don't know if it was something strategically done to not turn off new listeners because she might have been associated with gospel, but she's just known as Tremaine. And that, J. Ray, is the song I'm putting you onto this week. You got it. And listen, you're coming here to dance. So you would appreciate, I wouldn't be surprised if you hear this record over the weekend. Mark my words. If I was a betting man, I guarantee you, one of those DJs, Louis Vega, who else is playing?
I don't know. It's two other DJs. I don't know. I can't remember their names though. But listen, I live for it.
It's a major house set. I know that. And these records could be played in these sets. That's why you can have a Kenny Bobian today. You can have a Ricky Dillard, a new G, drop something that's gospel. But the DJs, we'll slap a beat under that and put it out there for people to dance. But that's for another show.
Oh, we got to talk about that because that's a whole thing. Gospel. First of all, gospel house and club. It's a thing, y'all. It's a whole thing. And if you've never danced to it, it changes things.
It really does. It changes your perspective, and it makes everything okay for that time, for whatever it is you're going through at that moment. Yes. And that's what music does. That's what absolutely. Listen, before we get out of here, I got to remind people, we want your feedback. We talked a lot about remixes today. Email us at the letter Q, points, POINTS, the show at gmail.com. And what do we want to ask them something, Jerry. We want them to know what is your favorite remix ever.
Yes. What is your favorite remix ever?
For me, I think the one that changed the game immediately, changed everything. The what was it called? But the I Want to Be Down remix.
Oh, that changed. Wow. And so Kipper just left. So that's really funny that would be the one. Kipper Jones wrote I Want to Be Down.
Yep. I think that remix changed the game.
It literally did because so it's funny. I don't I'm thinking about what my favorite remix is, but that remix literally changed everything because remember, after that remix, Flavor in Your Ear came, which was literally. Oh wait a minute, or did Flavor in Your Ear come first? I can't remember the order. It might have.
It was around the same time. It was 94.
Yep.
No, so Flavor in Your Ear came first because I Want to Be Down was a 95.
Exactly. Yeah.
Both directed by Hype Williams. Videos both directed by Hype Williams.
Absolutely. So just thinking about the importance of having one collectives, so these like groups of these people who you loved come together. The I Want to Be Down remix with La and Light and Yo Yo is just like
crazy.
It's
when they perform it today, I bet you have to pay them extra to perform that, only because they know that people are gonna go berserk when they hear that. So if there's a remix that makes you feel this way, we want to hear about it. Send it to qpointstheshow@gmail.com. And listen, if you want to put me and J Ray onto some music, hey, feel free to put us onto that as well.
Please.
We want to know. I know we're setting ourselves up here because God knows email is just as bad as being in a supermarket parking lot and somebody running up to you saying, hey aunt, you listen to rap? I got a CD, aunt. So, but no, we want you to tell us put us on to something new or something that you rediscovered.
Absolutely. And I just want to thank y'all as well. Like, thank y'all so much for like rocking with this show, and we're looking forward to having y'all rock with us next week as well. So tell people about this.
Share the link. Put it in your socials. I know you see me out there on my socials. It's right here, DJ Sir Daniel. He's J Ray is the name. Follow us all the time. Listen, we had a great time. I enjoyed this. J Ray, this is Q Points.
We did it. Oh my goodness. It's beautiful and done.
We did it. We're not two old grumpy old men talking about the good old days. We really enjoy music and want people to enjoy it too. Yes. So until next time.
Y'all. Peace.